Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video on these because I just got them in the mail yesterday. And they are 5 palettes from AliExpress. And I'm gonna look at my order right here real quick. And it looks like my total came out to $9.70, free shipping. And I got them from AliExpress, so they were $1.94 each, and it definitely shows with the packaging. I'll just go ahead and say that. But you know, here are the palettes right here. These are all the colors that they come in. So there's a red, orange, green, blue, and purple. And I opened them because I was pretty excited to like look at them and everything, but I haven't put them on my eyes yet. I've just swatched like the green and the blue palette to take some pictures and everything. So yeah, this is pretty much what we're going to be testing out. Now you might notice that they look eerily like similar to another high-end palette, and that is because they do. Like this is the Huda Beauty palette, and then this is the one that I got for $9, and yeah, they look really similar. So I don't have the Huda Beauty palettes because they're like $27 for a little eyeshadow palette, but I know that I've always looked at these and been really attracted to them. Like, they look really awesome to me. Yeah, so that was the purple one, and then here's the green one. Like, they look really similar. Red one. They're not fakes because they don't actually have Huda Beauty written on them. Let me see. I think this one's supposed to be duping this orange one right here. I'm not sure though. But yeah, they're not actually Huda Beauty fakes because they don't have her branding name on them like other fakes do. They just pretty much have the exact same packaging. So actually, like, moving on to the packaging of these, I want to point out that it's like incredibly cheap packaging. Like, you look right here, the paper, it's like cardboard and then it has foam inside, and the paper right here is already peeling back, and same on this one. It's just like already peeling back on them. And then when you go in like this, when you open them up, you can see that it's basically just held on by that paper that's attached to the palette. So yeah, these are like really flimsy and just cheap feeling. But I don't know how the actual eyeshadow is gonna work, so that's what, you know, we came here for. So anyways, yeah, I'm basically just doing a look with these palettes, and we're going to move on to that now. Alright, so first I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush, and it doesn't really matter like what you have. I'm just using this one, and I'm gonna dip into the red one. I'm gonna be using 3 different ones. I'm gonna be using the blue, the red, and the orange, and just to like test out a few of them. And I'm gonna dip into this tan shade right here, and I'm just gonna be using that. Like, I need to blend out the creases because I've already set my eyes and done my base, obviously. I just set my eyes with or prime my eyes with concealer, and this is what I'm gonna set it with. So So then I'm gonna move into the orange palette, and I'm gonna take this bright orange right here. I also want to point out, that is like not coming out onto the brush. I also wanted to point out that the pans are pretty deep in there. Like, if you can kind of see, they're like really far in there. Like, it's not actually full of product. It's like they filled it up halfway. And this orange shade does not want to pick up my brush. I'm like digging in and it's barely making a dent. Alright, I'm gonna use this as the transition shade. So I'm just gonna be going with this into the crease and blending it upward. I also want to point out that I'm pretty much bringing it like all the way up to the brow bone, and that actually looks really nice. It's not patchy at all. That is a really pretty shade. Alright, so now I want to take a darker shade in there, and I'm going to take the darker orange right here. And it seems like this one's pretty similar to that one. You kind of have to like dig the first layer off before it actually gets on your brush. And I'm just going to be blending that into the crease too, just not bringing it up as high as I did with that orange, the lighter orange. I'm on my last straw. I'm broken and I'm woken up. I'm done feeling your life. Yeah, that looks really pretty actually. Like, I'm gonna get closer so that you can see. It's like not patchy at all. I really like that. What I'm gonna do is blend another darker shade from the orange palette in, and then I'm gonna use one of the blue shimmery shades on the lid. I'm actually gonna be a little bit careful because it seems like these darker shades, I just dipped into this middle one. Seems like they come up a little bit easier. They're a little bit more powdery than the two orange shades, so. And I'm gonna tap that on my bottom outer corner. And then just blend it up into my crease. So before I move on to the shimmery shade, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my bottom lash line, and I'm just gonna take a mixture of those two orange shades on this little Morphe crease brush and just go it all over my bottom lid, and then blend everything out and make sure to connect it to the top colors. So then I'm going to take that darker shade right here again and dip into it and do that on the bottom lash line, but only bring it halfway in. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and just dip into the blue palette now, which looks like this. And I'm gonna take this top middle shimmery shade, and I'm just gonna use my fingers because that's what works best for me. But first I need to take some concealer, otherwise shimmer shades have a hard time locking onto my lid if I've already set them, which I have. So after I blend out all the transition shades and everything, I go back in with concealer where I want to put the shimmer shade, and then it locks into place on top of it. So yeah, I'm just going to take this Wet n Wild brush. It's just a flat edge brush, and I'm going to dip into the concealer. I just put it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to tap a little bit of it onto my lash line and then look up. And then that kind of gives you a guideline of like how high it should be. This is just like a trick that's I learned obviously on the internet and YouTube and everything, and it's really worked well for me. And I only want to do the shimmer shade in the middle, I think. So I'm gonna follow that guideline and then just start dragging the concealer down. said, I'm just gonna go in with this dark blue shimmer shade and on my finger. So the annoying thing about this is when you're dipping in to get the shimmer shades, I've noticed, is that because they are so low in the pan, it's really hard to like kind of get your finger in there and get the product. I don't know, that's just kind of annoying to me. So I'm just gonna pat that all over where we put the concealer. I actually really don't like that shade at all. It's not what I thought it was gonna be. Picking up some more. Okay, that's a bit better when you add like a second coat. And I'm just like pressing and pulling. I gotta dip in again because it's so hard to actually get product up on your finger. It doesn't help that these shimmery shades are kind of dry. Or this one is, at least. So I'm just gonna take that same crease brush that we used for the bottom lash line, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this orange, and I'm gonna mix a little bit with the dark shade, and I'm gonna use that to blend the edges in because they're kind of harsh right now. So. Alright, so in that same blue palette, I'm gonna take this light one right here and just do that in the very center of where I placed that blue down. And that one's actually a lot creamier than that blue. So just right in the center. Yeah, I instantly already like that one way more than I like the blue. What I think I'm gonna do next is just trying to use a whole bunch of the colors in the palette. I'm gonna take the yellow shade right here and the blue one and just dip into it with kind of a cleaner brush. And I'm gonna do this on the inner corner. Now the yellow shade is a matte, but I really wanted to use it, so. And just gonna blend it all around the inner corner like that and connect it with the blue. I need to dip in again. I'm gonna wipe a little bit of the excess off on my wrist, and then just make sure all the edges of the yellow shade are blended in with the orange and the blue, and there's no harsh edges. Then I want to take this e.l.f. crease brush and go back into that silvery blue shade that we used on the very middle of our eyes, and that's gonna be placed right in the inner corner, just like right there. And then I think I also want to take that and use it on my brow bone. Alright, so I just want to go put mascara on and then come back and give you my final thoughts on the little palette. So here's what it looks like with mascara on. I think that I really liked the orange shades and the yellow shades, and obviously I haven't used any of the blues, like the blue matte shades, but I definitely like the orange ones, and that yellow one blended out really nicely in the blue one. And like I used this one and this one and this one down here in the orange palette, and they blended up beautifully. The one that I don't like is that blue shimmer shade that I used because it was really patchy, and if I just zoom you on in. Like, you can just see how it's patchy right here. And then over here, it got patchy up on the top. I don't know, I really don't like it, but the yellow shade and blended out really nicely. The orange shades blended out really nicely. It's just that blue shimmer shade that I didn't like, but I did like the icy gray blue in the blue palette. That one was nice. That one was creamy. It reminded me more of the Morphe shadows. It's just that dark blue was like really tough to get into. It reminded me of like a baked eyeshadow, and I don't like baked eyeshadows. They anchor me because they are so hard to work with, and they're usually patchy on me. Just on me personally, I've tried out a lot of elf ones, and I just don't like them. I like them a little bit more. I think it's the California Baked Eyeshadow Palette by elf. I use it for like brow bone and inner corner highlighting. It's really nice for that, just not as a shadow, and I don't think I'd be using a blue shadow as a highlight, so I don't see myself using that very much. Now, I still really want to dip into the purple shade. I just wasn't feeling purple today, but I still want to use those. And so that's basically my thoughts on it. I think that that blue shade is the only one that I didn't like, but the other ones I like a lot. They look really pretty, and I definitely want to use those orange shades again. Like, I loved those so much. I want to use it, and then maybe try just using the shimmers, like putting this one on top instead of the blue, and try doing that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll try to put some like a note down below on how it wears. I'm going to link the seller I got it from down below. I also want to mention that you should test this stuff on like your arm or something before you use it. If you have sensitive skin like I do. I'm not having any trouble with my eyes being irritated right now, but I did test out like the blue and the green last night on my arms, and it didn't irritate me at all. So I tested it out first. Didn't get any irritation, but I do have sensitive skin, so you know, you might want to try doing that if you're like me. But that is it for me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.